Hot 1079. It's Chandler. And we have the RuPaul's Drag Race Presents Night of the Living Drag coming up on October 14th at the Embassy Theater. And I am speaking with the host, the commodity of drag oddity herself, Yvie Oddly. Hello, Miss Yvie Oddly.
Hello.
I am so excited to have you and all the other RuPaul's drag queens coming to Fort Wayne at the Embassy because I think this is the first time something like this has ever come to Fort Wayne, to be honest. So, my first question for you is what can the audience look forward to seeing at Night of the Living Drag?
I mean, it's going to be a full spectacle. So I think the audience coming to see Night of the Living Drag can hopefully expect to see drag queens.
Oh, I would only hope so.
But beyond that, just be ready for a hell of a show. We've got singing and dancing and an insane set, insane numbers. There's going to be some tricks and flips and this and that. So all around spectacular time.
That sounds absolutely amazing. And you mentioned that there's going to be a bunch of different queens and different like performances and stuff. Were there any challenges when it came to creating a cohesive show with all those different drag styles?
I mean, not really, specifically because that's what a drag show is all about. It's about people coming up and expressing themselves exactly how they always wanted to be when we were the kids singing into the hairbrushes, you know?
Oh,
So
yeah,
the
definitely.
whole it's one fantastic show where you get to see everybody's take on a sort of creepy Twilight Zone episode or so.
I love that. All right. And now I have a couple of my personal fangirl questions for you because, like I said, I am a huge RuPaul's Drag Race fan. And I actually just recently binged your season with my girlfriend this past week. So I'm like all up to date on you. So
Ooh.
I know it's not, I promise I'm not a stalker, just a huge fan. And I appreciate everything you've done for the art and the drag like industry and everything.
Well, I'm glad you appreciate it. I just do it for the lady in the mirror.
I love that.
She
Um,
tells me I have to.
I mean, you got to listen to her.
Right.
So in season 11, you mentioned that you always start your drag from a conceptual perspective. So what is a key component of your creative process?
It's just observation. It's something I learned in art school. I learned in general that artists are just observers. So I like to be the fly on the wall. I like to walk around and take in all the places I go and really pay attention to the people because that's what gets my brain spinning is just thinking about life in different ways and shapes. And to be a good artist, you have to live a full life.
Yeah, I love that. You find the oddities and the beautiful things in life through, the mundane almost sometimes.
Yeah, just paying attention, and I personally always like to go in the opposite direction of what everybody else is doing. So a lot of my concepts just come from observing everyday human behavior or animal behavior, and being like, but what if it did the opposite thing? What if it did something else?
Yeah, I love that. And that makes me think of your T-Rex runway that you did on season 11, which is one of my favorites. And it's just odd, but it's animalistic and but beautiful at the same time.
Well, thank you. The category was sexy trick or treater, so I'm glad I could knock off the beautiful part.
Oh, you certainly you served and you walked the runway so well, believe me.
Hey, well, thank you.
All right. And then a couple more questions for you. Are there any artists like musicians, actors, other drag performers that inspire you or your drag style?
Not really my drag style. My drag style is just whatever I feel like being, wearing, doing, seeing on any given day. So that really just comes from me and how I'm feeling and what I have available. But the sense of things, I have a respect for people who take risks and break boundaries. So at this point in time, I have to say Doja Cat because she's just doing everything quote unquote wrong, and I love it.
Oh yeah, I absolutely agree. We play Doja Cat on our radio station, and I love her, and she's just odd, and I love it.
You know, doing the punk rock thing, doing what feels good to you instead of what everybody expects.
Yeah, and that's what art is supposed to be.
Right, right.
All right, and then since we are Hot 1079, I figured we would do a quick round of Hot or Not, and that will kind of be, like Tudor Boot.
Oh yeah, I'm familiar with hotting and nodding.
All right, so first up on the list, pumpkin spice, hot or not?
Not, I'm sorry. It tastes like mold. Much more of like an apple cinnamon girl.
That's fair. That's fair. All right, and then metallic clothing, hot or not?
Hot forever. Ever since people made clothing, we imagine the future as being people in metallic clothing. So hot, forever hot. It's the future.
I would have to agree with that. All right, and now this one might get a little controversial, but I need to know as a Swiftie, Taylor Swift, hot or not?
No, you're trying to make me fight with all of Indiana.
Oh, no, 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 no. I just need to know, I just need to know, but I will still love you as much as I always have.
Okay, for me personally, then it's a not, but that's because I think Taylor Swift represents everything on the opposite of the spectrum of what I represent. So
And
she
that's a fair answer.
herself is a hot, but the cultural phenomenon that is Taylor Swift is a not for me.
That's a totally fair answer, and I 100% respect that. All right, and then last but not least, the Barbie movie, hot or not?
Oh, so hot. So hot for the exact opposite reasons I stated. Barbie addressed all the things about Barbie that people could complain about in this modern day and age, and she did it with magnificent flair.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Do you ever just like think about dying?
Oh, I've watched that movie I think 3 times now since it's come out on digital copy. I can't get enough of it.
Oh, it's so good. So good. I'm a Barbie girl all over again.
Oh, same. Well, that is all of my questions for you. Thank you so much for speaking with me today and answering all of my questions. Everyone can see you and all of the other drag queens at the Embassy Theater on October 14th for Night of the Living Drag. Thank you so much, Yvie Oddly.
Of course. Thank you, Chandler.
Oh my gosh, you said
Have
my
a
name.
spectacular day.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.